And you have sold, what's your record for one day from open to sell out? What was it, how many pounds of meat?
Oh, right at 1,600.
1,600 pounds of meat.
2 hours?
3.
3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours, that was a big number.
1,600 pounds of meat.
Real close. Yeah.
Super Bowl weekend, they went through 80 gallons of barbecue sauce. Super Bowl weekend.
Oh.
I'm trying to tell you guys that now that you know how good it is.
That's a 55-gallon drum race fuel plus a little more.
Yeah,
of barbecue
yeah.
sauce.
Dude.
That's nuts. No,
I was going to say he needs a bigger sign, but
here's
I
the
don't think
thing.
He doesn't need a bigger sign.
He gets a bigger sign. He's in a bigger building.
What he needs to do is he needs to get a catering trailer and follow the road to the Iron Giant.
He can do that. I've seen his pit.
There's a
I have
thought.
seen his pit. Now, this barbecue pit.
Have you smelled?
Wave to your parents are leaving.
I already did. I waved to him before you
We'll see
did.
you guys. Thanks for
Nice
coming
to meet
in.
you, folks.
He's still blushing. Look at him.
Oh, my God.
So, no, I've
50
been up.
Shades of Red.
Yeah. No,
I almost just threw my headset at you.
I love it. Now, I took Sandy out on a date. We went to Roger That Barbecue, and we got up there, and we got the tour, checked it out. Their pit that they cook this meat in, I'm not kidding you guys. I've never seen anything like this thing. It's mobile. They hook it up.
Yep.
This thing weighs 2,300 pounds?
Yeah, 2,300 pounds. It's about 16 feet long, 40 inches in diameter, and we can load her up pretty good.
Oh, and it was loaded. I mean, we were there when they were cooking for the next day, and it was, I mean, there was not a square inch of that grill that didn't have meat on it. I mean,
As
it was.
we speak, I got a guy right now turning briskets, turning the fire, watching them go.
And the fire pit, it's pretty cool. There's an art to building these things. I don't just throw coals in it and put the meat over it like a barbecue. There's a little thing off to the side and this tube that comes up and down and around. I mean, it's crazy. It's a technique for the heat and the smoke, and I mean, it's a science, and these guys have nailed it.
So
I mean,
it looks like something you'd see on Moonshiners.
better. I mean, this thing is, it's kind of something like that. But Roger has nailed it. I mean, you guys tasted this food.
Yeah.
Can't praise it enough. It's good stuff.
So I'm glad they were,
I'm about ready for a nap.
I know after eating that food.
I'm literally sitting here just kicking back.
Well, Roger and I made a deal last night. He said, "Hey, I want to come in and bring you guys some food." And I said, "Fantastic." I didn't say anything to anybody. I just told him, "Hey, come hungry." That's all I said.
You didn't tell me that.
He didn't tell me that either.
I did too.
No, he didn't.
Not until you got here.
Did I tell you to come hungry, Chris? Jeremy?
See, once again, he doesn't care about the co-host.
What's the guy? No. What's the guy from Sunset that does the announcing?
They don't have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Josh.
He tried it.
Yeah.
Voluntarily, he was down there doing the announcing with you guys.
Yep.
And he you could hear him sucking sauce off his fingers.
I'm sitting next to him. We're trying to announce a race. Going into a race, doing the lineup, and we're sitting there eating barbecue. And I didn't want to say anything. I was too busy eating.
There's a sign on the door that says "No entry during time trials."
Yep.
Absolutely no entry.
I don't care who you are.
Right.
I pushed the door open with the whole thing of barbecue, and I was like, "Is it time trials?" They're like, "Yeah, come on in."
Yeah, we did. Well, he showed up. I mean, he had at least this much food that night. I mean, it fed, I don't know, a dozen people that night at the races, and there was still stuff left over.
I got leftovers. They were awesome.
Yeah, it was good. So
I didn't.
Glad to have Roger That Barbecue in the house tonight. Roger, awesome. I mean, the food's phenomenal.
Thank you, Roger.
You bet, guys.
Least
I could do.
Well, we'll come back and talk a little bit more about Roger That Barbecue. We're going up to a break. We're almost 20 minutes in, and we will be right back in about 2.5 minutes. Thanks for listening to Northwest Dirt News here on Spreaker Radio.
Do you wake up in the morning in a slump? Looking for a new career or change of pace? Well, let Northwest Trucking Academy be your source. Dave Stahl and his team of highly experienced instructors will give you the skills you need. Whether you have no idea what the brake pedal is or you just need a refresher course, Northwest Trucking Academy will give you a customized training program to meet your needs. In as little as 4 weeks, you can be on your way across the country with your new career. Located on Highway 99 in Tangent, Oregon, Northwest Trucking Academy will get you ready for a new, fast-paced, and highly rewarding career. Give them a call at 541-248-3461 or look them up online at nwtruckingacademy.com. Classes start the first Monday of every month, and don't forget to use promo code MOXIE. That's MOXIE, and receive $100 off your tuition.
Crocker's Cars is located on Santiam Highway across the street from Walmart in Lebanon, Oregon. We've been providing the finest pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and RVs since 1983. Crocker's Cars has been in business for 31 years, offering quality used vehicles that meet your needs. With our experience and professionalism and no-hassle buying, customers really do come first here at Crocker's Cars. Crocker's Cars, where quality is the difference. Look us up on the web at crockerscars.com for a full line of inventory, or give us a call at 541-258-2175. 541-258-2175. Now, back to the Jetstream Aqua Massage Studio for more Northwest Dirt News live on Spreaker Radio. Man, 2.5 minutes and it goes by just like that. And you're trying to talk about, what we're going to talk about during the show. And Chris and I are looking over.
And Joel's counting my laps. How many laps I get that time?
3. And I'm outside. I'm talking to the producer because I'm trying to figure out what kind of baseball signs, if she was telling me to swing or to slide or whatever. I mean, I was sitting there going, come on, coach, put me in the game.
It has been crazy here in the first 20, 25 minutes. But first, we're going to welcome to the show Chris Sine with the Iron Giant series. Mike right there in front of you, Chris. Go ahead and grab that. So, the Iron Giant, the road to the Iron Giant. This thing has just absolutely exploded and taken off. People are jumping on board to support this thing. I mean, how many drivers across the Northwest have contacted you or myself or, hey, how do I get a hold of Chris? What do we need to do?
It's blowing up right now. I've had a lot of people getting a hold of me, and there's a lot of people building new cars right now, and I know a lot of people are improving their cars from last year to try to keep up with the fast guys again.
Well, and they're trying to improve their cars because they saw what happened to that Iron Giant race. I mean, when there's that kind of money and competition on the line, there was 53 cars?
57 cars.
57 cars showed up for that race.
Well, and it wasn't just 57 in the street stocks. You also had, overall, for all the classes, we had, 137?
Yeah.
137
That was
cars.
a big night.
I mean,
but, the street stocks that was the
show.
That was the show of the year, arguably. I mean, the finish, there wasn't a single person in the grandstands that wasn't in their seat when they crossed the line. I'll tell you the funny thing, and I've talked about this before. I'm watching the last lap, and I'm watching Kronk on the bottom, and I'm watching Kyle Yak run down the backstretch, and I thought, oh, no, I've seen this before. We got a finish coming up. And I just told the fans we were coming out of a caution. And I just told the fans, don't leave. We're setting up for a finish here that you're going to remember for a long time. This is going to be, what we've seen tonight, this is going to be the finishes. And sure enough.
Oh, it was. It was amazing.
They came out of turn 4. Yak on the high side, Kronk on the bottom. I saw it happening. I jumped up. And when I did, my chair shot backwards, hit the back of the announcer's booth, bounced off. I spun while I'm yelling, watching them come across the line. The chair hits me in the shin, cuts my shin open. I'm bleeding. I'm hopping around. The other announcer is yelling, "What just happened? What just happened?" Debbie, she's crying. Man, if we had a camera in this announcer's booth, it'd be
that would be crazy.
Oh, it was funny, but the Iron Giant, that one race. On top of the wall banger and everything else you've done to promote races, Chris, you don't do it little.
No.
We had a $5,000 purse that night to the winner.
All the money that come from the fans, too. That's
the kind of stuff fans appreciate, though.
That night won't be forgotten for a long time.
Ever. That'll be talked about for decades.
Yep.
It really will.
Well, it was one of those weekends. Labor Day weekend is always a racers weekend. It's normally 2-day shows. Not Wallbanger. I kept reading Chris's shirt over here. We should call it Wall Climber, but that's for another reason. But the Iron Giant this last year, you had the wall, or gosh, dang, I do it again. The Iron Giant.
Look at Chris.
Okay, Chris. You had the Iron Giant sat there over $2,000 out of the fans' pockets. Then you had, just to the winner. Then you had the 50-50, which broke every record.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And the auction we had that night, too.
And the auction,
right.
I mean...
It was $1,400 in the auction that night, if I remember right.
Oh, no.
Towards charity.
No, it was more than that.
Way more.
Because you had the one that was...
We did almost 4,000 that night, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I mean,
and Chris, you're the one that put all that together to begin with, right?
Yeah.
I mean, hats off to you,
Well,
man.
what
What a great job.
Well, and here's the thing. This was, and I worked with Chris during the day, kind of help, get everybody kind of organized and talk about what needed to be done, what he was looking for, how can I help. In the pit area, while he's doing tech, you and White House and whoever else you had doing tech that day, I asked him, I said, hey, listen, how's it going? He's not worried about anything. I mean, he was pretty calm, pretty cool. Everything's going good. Rules are rules. Everybody's following them. But he goes, I've promised 3,000 to win?
Yeah.
He goes, I promised 3,000 to win. He goes, I think I've collected money from 2 people.
Oh, wow.
I'm going, what? But you know what?
It was like
the night,
$1,600 we had to collect that day still.
But every single person who said they were going to sponsor a lap or put the money in as as a like Jetstream, we put our money in. Every single person.
Well, during the pit meeting too, you're like, oh, Roger that barbecue wants to sponsor the heat race wins.
Right.
So that was another 500, and then we ended up having 6 heat races because there were so many darn cars there.
Yep.
And then so you called them, okay, make it 600.
Yep. And they did. They put the money up, and every single person that said, hey, we're going to sponsor $100 or $50, every person ponied up and was there.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the main, too, we paid out. Heat race wins. We had
$100 for fast time.
Hard Charger got $100.
Yeah.
Fastest qualifier, fast dash, slow dash, all got $100 in the pocket that night, too.
Yep. It was a fantastic night of racing.
What yak you end up with? $5,400.
54 and change.
5405 or something like that.
50, yeah. Nuts.
What a great
When was
night
the last
for
time you
Willamette
saw-
Speedway.
when was the last time you saw a purse that big for the winner?
I don't think I ever have.
Well, we had the $5,000 late model show, but for street stocks, never.
Never.
I've never seen anything like it. And the funny thing was, when we took the money that we had gathered from the fans that said, hey, put this towards the winner, put this towards the winner. We went out at the end of the show, and we counted that money out on Kyle's hood, and you couldn't hardly see the hood. It was just money all over. And, it was pretty funny, but that was a fun night, and that kid was yeah.
Oh yeah, you were yelling.
Oh man, I had for about 2-3 days afterwards. I had no voice, and oh my gosh,
oh man,
that last lap was
Sandy appreciated that.
probably. Probably.
Well, what started the whole thing was 2 years ago. We wanted to promote the Wallbanger Cup. We wanted to make it 1,000 to win, and that was a big deal for a street stock race. $1,000 to win was just amazing. And that's Mark Howard, which is my stepdad,
One of my heroes.
Yeah.
So, and then the next year, I had Danny Ray helping me do it the first year. And then the next year, he ended up getting a B mod, so he wanted to, kind of
Participate.
Out.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, it's the 10th annual. Let's make it 2,600 to win. And that was a huge goal for itself right there. Man. And we ended up doing that, and we made it $100 to start that night, and it was a good payout for that, too. It was over $8,000 that night.
Yeah.
We had sponsors for Fast Time and Hard Charger, and it was really incredible, too. And that was a historical night. We didn't even know anything about the Iron Giant until after that race. And then next thing you know, people were like, oh, you should do another one at Lebanon. You should do another one. Well, 2 months later, we had the Iron Giant.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was an awesome deal. Now, while we were under commercial break.
Well, we were under caution.
Caution. Yeah, caution flag was out. Jeremy stood here and waved it the whole time.
Yeah, no flipping switches in the Testing Mock Massage studio. He's got to sit there and wave the son of a gun.
Right. Yep. Chris and I talked, and he's got this notebook with him, and I was looking at what he's going to do for this series, and man, if you're not a part of this with a street stock, you're missing out.
It's almost worth building a street stock.
It absolutely is.
We should do that.
Well, maybe we will. But here's the thing. The point structure. Now, this is different. Okay, what he's doing is different because a lot of the times you'll see the winner, let's use round numbers, 100 points to the winner, 98 for second, 96 for third, down to, then they start going, the breakdown gets a little closer. Chris, this is very interesting. I want to know how you came up with this. And let's talk about what you're going to do because this is really cool. Listen to this, guys.
For the A main, we're going to make it 100 to win. And then
100 points.
95 for second, and then 90 for third, 85 fourth, 80 for fifth, and then from there down we're going to go by twos.